There's something undeniably grounding about stepping into a bathroom that incorporates wood, not just as an accent or a trim, but as a central part of the design. It transforms the space from purely functional to profoundly calming, like entering a private retreat carved out of nature itself. In a world where so many bathrooms feel sterile and cold, all sharp lines and hard tiles, a wooden bathroom breathes. It lives. It invites you in with warmth, with texture, with a quiet elegance that whispers instead of shouts. You step inside and immediately sense the difference, not just with your eyes, but with your whole body. The air seems softer, the atmosphere more forgiving. It's like the room is exhaling. You might begin with the floors, wide planks of teak or cedar underfoot, softly glowing from a matte finish that highlights every knot and line in the grain. These aren't factory slick boards. They have depth character. They might show subtle ridges where the planer passed or tiny imperfections that remind you this came from a living tree, not a warehouse. As your bare feet touch the surface, there's no jarring cold, just a steady, gentle warmth. Even when wet, these woods resist damage, shrug off moisture, and continue to age gracefully. The grain darkens over time, becomes richer, more nuanced. Every drop of water absorbed and dried tells part of its evolving story. Walls, too, can transform when clad in wood. Imagine a bathroom where a feature wall, perhaps behind the vanity or surrounding the mirror, is wrapped in vertical slats of walnut or oak. The grain runs like river currents from floor to ceiling, creating a visual rhythm that draws the eye upward. Some spaces go further, wrapping entire walls in tongue-and-groove panels, bringing the intimacy of a cabin to the heart of a modern home. The acoustics change. Sounds are softened, echoes absorbed. The whole experience shifts, like standing inside a well-crafted instrument, where even silence hums with potential. And then there are vanities. These are often the soul of a wooden bathroom, the place where function and artistry meet. Picture a floating vanity made from reclaimed timber, the edges left slightly rough, the surface planed just enough to feel smooth beneath your fingers. The drawers glide open without sound, revealing careful joinery, hand-finished interiors, and the soft scent of aged wood. The basin atop might be ceramic, concrete, even carved stone, but it rests on that wooden foundation like a river on a bed of earth. The contrast elevates both materials. The warmth of the wood frames the coolness of the basin. Together, they form a balanced whole. Some vanities are built from thick slabs of live-edge wood, each one unique, each one with a lineage. A knot here, a ripple in the grain there, evidence of storms weathered, seasons endured. These slabs are sealed and treated, of course, made ready to resist the inevitable splashes and steam. But they don't pretend to be impervious. They're still wood, still alive in their way. The grain still moves subtly with temperature and humidity, and that's part of the beauty. It breathes with the room, responds to the environment, becomes part of the daily ritual. Shelving, too, offers a subtle opportunity to let wood speak. Simple floating shelves of maple or cherry, gently arched or perfectly squared, can hold folded towels, jars of bath salts, or bundles of dried lavender. They're not just storage, they're calm, quiet stages for the objects of daily life. Some homeowners opt for deeper niches, built directly into the wall and lined with wood, offering shadowed alcoves for candles, skincare, or simple sculpture. Even a wooden stool, low and wide, tucked beside the tub, can lend an almost spa-like atmosphere, inviting you to sit, to rest, to take a breath before the rush of your day resumes. Lighting plays a crucial role in wood-forward bathroom designs. Soft, warm bulbs encased in wooden sconces or recessed into wooden overhangs create a glow that flatters both skin and surface. Instead of harsh overhead lighting, there's diffusion, reflection. Light filters through wooden slats, bounces off honey-toned walls, lingers on the grain like late afternoon sun on a forest path. In bathrooms with high ceilings, pendant lights hanging from timber beams become sculptural elements in themselves, casting shadows, creating moods, reminding you that this is more than just a washroom. It's a place of pause. The tub, of course, can become a centerpiece. While ceramic and porcelain dominate most bathrooms, some designers and homeowners embrace wooden tubs with open arms. Crafted from hinoki, teak, or cedar, these bathtubs are not only functional, but ceremonial. You don't just bathe, you soak, you steep. You let the aromatic steam rise around you, curl into the wood grain, release its own scent. The experience is tactile, aromatic, meditative. Wooden tubs, when properly sealed and cared for, can last for decades, each bath deepening the patina, drawing you back again and again to that elemental combination of water and wood. Even small details matter. A toothbrush holder carved from olive wood, a soap dish made of bamboo, a toilet seat lid fashioned from dark-stained acacia, hooks and towel bars sculpted from ash or beechwood instead of cold metal. These touches, while subtle, shift the entire mood. They invite you to slow down, to notice, to reconnect. Wood has a way of insisting on presence. It doesn't shout, but it also doesn't vanish into the background. It holds its space. It asks to be felt. Some bathrooms mix wood with stone, slate floors under cedar-paneled ceilings, or a marble countertop atop a mahogany cabinet. Others go minimal, letting the grain be the primary visual texture in a sea of matte black fixtures or muted tile. There's no single formula. The key is restraint and intention. Too much, and the room can feel like a sauna. Too little, and the warmth is lost. But when balanced well, the result is unforgettable. You step in, and you feel held. Ventilation, of course, is crucial. Designers who work with wood in wet spaces understand this deeply. Fans are integrated seamlessly. Wood is treated carefully, oiled, sealed, ventilated, so that it can stand up to years of humidity without warping or rotting. And with the right choices, the bathroom doesn't just survive, it thrives. It grows more beautiful with age, like a well-loved piece of furniture, like a place you return to not out of habit, but out of desire. The feeling of such a bathroom isn't just visual, it's emotional. Stepping into it after a long day feels like entering a forest clearing. A quiet, a breath. There's no rush, just the sound of water falling into a basin, the soft creak of a wooden drawer, the brush of your hand against a surface worn smooth by time. And when you leave, hair damp, shoulders softened, you take something with you. A mood, a memory, a reminder that beauty can be quiet, that nature belongs even in the most unexpected corners of our homes. In an age of artificial everything, synthetic tiles, plastic fixtures, digital mirrors, a bathroom that embraces what feels like a rebellion, a return, a rerouting. It says, here's a space not built just for efficiency, but for experience. Not just for washing, but for remembering what it means to feel human, to be surrounded by the textures of the real, to inhabit a room that welcomes you not with sparkle, but with soul. Wood in the bathroom might once have seemed unusual, a space ruled by tile, porcelain, and sleek metal. But now we're seeing a quiet shift, a return to natural materials, to warmth, to contrast, because in a space that's often cold and sterile, wood brings life, softness, soul. A wooden bathroom design isn't just about aesthetics, it's about experience. The way warm-toned slats glow under soft lighting, the texture of a reclaimed timber vanity under your fingertips, the grounding presence of a wooden stool, a framed mirror, or a custom cabinet carved from something with history. Wood doesn't just decorate a bathroom, it transforms it. It bridges nature and ritual. Morning routines feel calmer when you're surrounded by materials that come from the earth. Evenings feel more grounded when the place you retreat to isn't just functional, but full of feeling. That's the quiet strength of wood. It brings a human touch to even the most private, practical moments. And when designed well, wood doesn't fight the environment, it adapts. Teak, cedar, bamboo, and properly sealed hardwoods all offer resilience. They withstand moisture, temperature shifts, and time itself. In return, they offer patina, character, that lived-in beauty that plastic and chrome can never match. Over the years, they tell their own story, one shaped by steam, light, and touch. But wood in the bathroom isn't just about big pieces. It lives in the details. A simple wooden soap dish, carved with care, a row of hooks on a driftwood beam, a shelf made from a single, imperfect plank. These touches change the entire rhythm of the room. Suddenly, the space feels slower, more thoughtful. more connected. Wood also plays well with contrast. Against polished stone or stark white ceramic, it softens the lines. Against matte black fixtures, it deepens the drama. Against green plants or woven textiles, it completes the natural palette. It doesn't try to dominate, it blends. It supports. It balances the modern with the organic, the sleek with the soulful. And perhaps that's what makes wooden bathroom design so quietly powerful. It reminds us that beauty doesn't have to be glossy or perfect. That comfort doesn't have to be cold or futuristic. That luxury can be simple. A warm floor under bare feet. A countertop that feels alive. A space that echoes the forest more than the showroom. In a world where bathrooms are too often treated as afterthoughts, purely functional zones of tile and glass, wood says something different. It says the space matters. It says design should be felt, not just seen. It says even a quiet, daily ritual deserves an environment that feels intentional. Because in the end, bathroom wooden design isn't about making a statement, it's about creating a mood, a feeling, a place where you can exhale, where the line between indoors and outdoors blurs, even if just for a moment, where the textures are real, the materials are honest, and the atmosphere invites you to slow down. It's a design choice that speaks without shouting, that holds presence without taking over. And the best part is, it ages gracefully. It doesn't fade out of style, it settles in, grows richer, warmer, more personal. So whether it's through a full wood-clad retreat or a few hand-picked elements, the message is the same. A bathroom doesn't have to feel sterile to be clean. It doesn't have to feel cold to be elegant. It can feel human, natural, grounded, and sometimes, all it takes to transform that space is a little wood, placed with care, and left to tell its story over time.